Welcome to Healthy Connections with Baxter Regional Medical Center. We're your host from the Community Sport Houses. We'll be right back.
Hi, welcome back to Healthy Connections with Baxter Regional Medical Center. I am Jody Bodenhammer, the coordinator for the Rappel Diabetes Learning Center, and I have with me today Melissa, Stephanie, and Diane, and we're going to talk a little bit more about our programs that are upcoming at each of our different community support houses. If you haven't had a chance to check out any of our services, all of our houses are located across from the emergency room entrance at Baxter Regional, and we like to call ourselves the neighborhood of the hospital. We're over on the back side there in some small houses that have been converted over into education centers. So come on over, visit us, check us out, and we'd like to talk a little bit today about some of the different programs that we have coming up. Now, Stephanie, you're down at the Schliemann Center for Women's Health Education. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yay!
You did perfect.
And you've got a special lunch and learn coming up.
Yes. So on April 3rd, Physical Therapy with Baxter Regional is going to come over and give a discussion on vestibular rehabilitation.
Nice.
So Jason Smith, he's one of the many physical therapists over there, but he's the one that's going to come over and host this lunch and learn to educate women in our community about dizziness, and vertigo.
Very nice,
Yeah.
very nice. And I know that our physical therapy department does so much with rehab for dizziness, vertigo, off balance. It's such a fall precaution, really, for folks who do experience either some inner ear or maybe a little bit of blood pressure changes. So what a great opportunity to learn a little bit more. Maybe even get tapped into some physical therapy if the need was there. Is there a registration for this event?
Yes, so you can go to baxterregional.org and calendar of events and register for the event there, or you can call the Schliemann Center at 870-508-2345. And looking on what they sent over, it looks like they're going to talk about improving balance and minimizing falls.
Oh, great.
So that's such a need in our community, especially with women. As we age, that tends to be an issue. So it's going to be a really good lunch and learn.
Good.
Looking forward to that.
Excellent. And lunch. I mean,
I know.
It's great. You
Yes.
have a little lunch,
That's
you have
right.
a little info.
Right.
That's what I love about our houses. We have so many different programs going on all the time, so many different opportunities for learning, or maybe finding out some more information about an issue that you might be dealing with, or even a loved one. So what a great lunch and learn, and what a great service to combine not only your house and women's health, but also our physical therapy department. That's great.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many times people have come to different events and they'll say, well, I came because a friend asked me to come, but I'm so glad I did because I learned so much in the process.
Right.
So I hear that all the time, and I'm sure that the other coordinators hear that as well. They're glad they came. They learned something more than they thought they were going to, which is even a better perk. For sure.
That is
Yeah.
great. And tell us one more time. So this is happening on April.
It's April 3rd
Okay.
at the Schliemann Center, Lunch and Learn Physical Therapy with Baxter Regional Vestibular Rehabilitation.
What time?
Oh, it's at noon. It's from noon to
Okay.
1.
Perfect. Great. And just give Steph a call down at the Schliemann Center if you'd like to register for that.
That's right.
We do want to make sure, we always want to make sure we have plenty to eat.
Yes.
So we like a registration
Yes,
list.
yes, I want to make sure
Yes.
everyone gets fed.
Yes, good.
That's right.
And Diane, you've got a special event coming up this next week as well with Dr. David.
That's right. Dr. David Lipschitz. He is from our Fairlamb Senior Clinic.
Right?
And he is going to be talking about physical and mental agility, the key to a longer life.
I like that.
And we're going to be over in the Lagerborg dining room.
Okay.
We have changed the time to 11 o'clock. This is coffee and snack with Dr. David as we discuss how to keep our minds sharp, our bodies physically fit so that we can prevent falls and vestibular issues. And
I need to go to that
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
learn something in that one, I'm sure.
So Dr. David's just a lot of fun. He's very informative when he talks, but he makes it very interesting.
He's very entertaining.
He's very, very entertaining.
If you've not
Yes,
attended one of
yes.
his seminars, it's a treat because he is just, well, he just has a following. I mean,
He does,
people love
yeah.
to come and listen to him. He has a great patient rapport with his patients. and a bedside manner like no other.
Right.
I remember when he was writing the columns for the newspaper, and my volunteers at my office would always come in and, have you seen the latest from Dr. Day?
Right,
Because it
yeah.
is, he does give such good information, but also, like you said, with a great, just a great attitude about life. And I think that's what our folks really like about him and about his offerings to our geriatric population. He specializes in gerontology,
That's
correct?
right. That's right. And he not only has the academics,
Mm-hmm.
he himself is considered
Sure.
senior age, and has gone through a lot of serious health conditions in the last couple of years. So he really relates to his audience.
Yeah.
So,
It is.
yeah.
It's very nice. So tell us again, we need to call and register for that event.
Yes, that would be
Okay.
good. That is April the 2nd,
Okay.
which is Monday, and that's going to be at 11 o'clock in the Logboard Dining Room
Okay.
at the hospital.
Right.
And we're gonna have some coffee and some snacks available, and Dr. David loves to answer questions too. So if you have questions you want answered, just bring those with you as well. Bring a friend.
He likes to visit about as much as I do, I think.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
Well, and again, we opened that up. I know you started with programs over at the Maruck Center, and then it grew and it grew and it grew, and so now we have to utilize the large dining room there at the hospital because there are usually so many folks that sign
That's
up for this.
right,
So
yeah.
get your name in early, folks. There will be limited seating, I'm sure.
Yep.
Because that place is usually packed when
It is.
Dr. Lipschitz comes to town.
That's
so
right.
That's
and
great.
You can call us to register at 508-3880. And a volunteer will answer the phone and take your name down. Then we'll be glad to have you at the door.
Okay, great, excellent. And again, these programs that we've been talking about, free of charge, they're open to anyone.
That's right.
And we have such a great community support with our houses that we are able to offer a lot of our programs and services at no charge to our audiences. So what a great opportunity this is to learn a little bit more about the houses, to know what's going on with our community support, and to be able to, visit and talk with medical professionals about certain issues. I know that is always a great learning environment when we have those different types of events that you ladies are hosting. Melissa,
Yes, ma'am.
over at the Heights Cancer Support House, what is happening at Heights House this coming week?
Well, we have Stacy Helmer
Uh-huh.
coming to talk about the effects of treatment on your hearing.
Okay.
So, treatments, they cause a lot of effects, after effects, and one of them is hearing loss. So she's going to talk about that, and that is on April 10th at 1 o'clock.
April 10th at 1, okay.
And then on April 11th at 9 a.m., Jessica Brown is going to come and talk about beneficial home modifications.
Okay. And she is also from...
BRMC, Bone and Joint.
Okay, from one of
Yes.
our orthopedic
Mhm.
clinics. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay, great.
Yeah,
And that is a tough thing sometimes when you think about going through different types of cancer treatments, different types of things. What to expect, number one, I think is very scary. And then also, number two, just to kind of have somebody there to say, okay, this is what you can watch for. These are some of the things that you may experience, and then this is what to do
right,
if this does happen.
right. And your loved ones, for them to know,
Mhm.
hey, let's go ahead and make these changes to the home to help you as well as the patient.
Yeah, and that sometimes, we think about those types of things as being very minimal, but gosh, just changing the arrangement of the furniture or the way that we do one little thing throughout the day can make a big difference
Right.
when you're maybe limited mobility or, dealing with some other, a lot of times I know we have cancer treatments and folks who maybe do have some, the IVs and the things like that, and those things all have to be, taken into consideration. So that's
right.
awesome. Tell us your phone number real quick over at the Heights Cancer Support House.
870-508-2273.
Perfect. And then we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about some of the upcoming events going on at our community support houses. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to Healthy Connections with Baxter Regional Medical Center. We are the Community House Coordinators. I am Jody Bodenhammer from the Rappel Diabetes Learning Center.
Melissa Hudson with the Pikes Cancer Support House.
Stephanie Isom with the Schliemann Center for Women's Health Education.
And Diane Van Gulik with the Maroc Family Education Center on Aging.
And now our time is up. So no, I'm just kidding.
We're done.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about because, gosh, our houses and our support centers stay so busy. So before the break, we were talking with Melissa a little bit about some of the upcoming events at the Pikes Cancer Support House. And one thing that caught our attention was this beneficial home modifications. Right. And so tell us a little bit more about that as far as what kind of information that we could expect from that.
You know, with advanced cancer especially, the patient's so weak and doesn't get around very well, as well as IV home therapy.
Yes.
You know, you don't know what changes to make to your home. So this helps the caregiver and the patient themselves know. And anyone's welcome to attend. I know, Stephanie, you kind of asked that question, who can attend?
Right.
Anyone that knows someone that's going through cancer and is concerned can come and learn about what is needed.
Good.
So Jennifer, it sounds like she's a good resource to use if someone has a friend or they're going through an issue to help modify their home. So when we talk about home modification, that's what you're talking about is how to maybe make a doorway wider to accommodate a wheelchair or use a ramp instead of a staircase or something like that. Okay, I got you.
And I believe that they used to, and she may still, go into homes and look around to see what home modifications can be done to assist them.
What a great service. So yes, it sounds like it's definitely open to everyone, but especially those going through cancer treatment, or know someone or you know is on their way. It's a good way to be proactive in their health care.
And you know, this is where our volunteers and board members come into place. Miss Terry Ware, she was the caregiver for her husband, and she's the one that said that this would be really beneficial for people to know. Because it's just not something that people.
Oh, I love me some Terry Ware.
I know,
you know,
she's
she
awesome.
is a precious lady because I know when she was dealing with her husband's cancer treatments and things, she was just so proactive, like you said, in getting the information, getting things set up, and I really admired that because a lot of people do not have any medical background. You know, they may be coming from, you know, like Terry, coming from a teaching background or a construction background where these things, you know, that are so foreign suddenly become so at home with them. And, you know, I think oftentimes about IV therapy. But, yeah, that's a great thing to talk about, too, is just the limited mobility, utilizing maybe a walker or one of the push walkers. Those are so handy and so helpful. To a lot of different patients, but especially I never had even thought about it being something that our cancer treatment patients would need to have a little bit more education on. So that's a great idea. Way to go, Terry Ware. Good job. And I know that, you know, with cancer support and with the Pikes House, there are so many resources that you guys offer. So tell me, or tell our folks at home, if they haven't been over to the Pikes Cancer Support House, maybe some of the other services. You know, you have multiple support groups, and information as well.
And the first key is information. I mean, knowledge, just knowing what you're going to go through or what treatments can take place and the effects of the treatments, and, you know, eating, how to eat when you don't have an appetite, questions to ask the doctor you just don't know what to even ask, especially when you receive the diagnosis. And we have all of that, and we have survivors that you can talk to, and you know.
Yes, that's right, that peer-to-peer support. And I think a lot of us have incorporated that model. I know you use that, Stephanie, with your young girls, and I know a lot of times with the caregiver support group, Diane uses that model as well. So that's awesome, very cool. And over at the Diabetes Center, I guess I should mention, I forget about what I have going on because I'm so excited about you guys. We do have our ongoing diabetes education program. We have classes every week. Usually, most of our classes are held on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. And those are open to anyone with the diagnosis of diabetes or pre-diabetes, as we like to say now. We used to call that borderline. But just give me a call if you have any questions or if you have any needs for your diabetes patients or family members, or if you yourself have diabetes. I know that that also is a very scary diagnosis sometimes, not quite as scary as cancer. Thankfully, that is one of the things that I say. I know nobody likes to come visit me and nobody likes to come visit you, but we're there if you need us. And so just come on by. I'm open Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 every day, or you can call the Rappel Diabetes Learning Center at 508-1765. We do have a couple more things to talk about. Stephanie, you have a Mommy and Me program.
I do. So again, it goes back to the support groups. You know, it's
Right.
as simple as someone calling and saying, "Hey, I have an idea for a support group. Can you help point me in the right direction?" And sometimes that's my direction. Sometimes it's the other coordinators. You know, just reaching out to you guys and saying, "Hey, I have a need. Can you help that?" And that's what happened with this Mommy and Me support group. I had a couple ladies that were looking for help. They were new moms, and I was a fairly new mom at the time, and so women just want other women's support.
Right.
So we formed this Mommy and Me support group. It meets on the first and third Thursday of every month. It's facilitated by a local woman by the name of Miranda Reynolds. I think we all know Miss Miranda. And we have speakers come and speak. So we'll have, for example, Dr. Andrea Bounds, who's also on the Schliemann Center Advisory Board, who's also a mom and a new mom as well.
A new mom,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. She's going to come and talk to the group about milestones and what to expect, and probably any other questions that these new moms have.
That's so
And we
great.
have a bunch. You know, there's and the group of ladies, their babies' ages range from, I think there's one that's 4 weeks old, so she'll be about 6 weeks old when we meet again, to my daughter, who's now over a year old. And so the questions vary. So it's a really good support group. It's a great way for these new moms to get together, ask questions, their babies play together.
Right.
You know, we snack around a little bit, and it's just a good group of ladies to offer that support, to feel validated. And I think sometimes as new moms, we just need to feel validated, and that our
Right.
concern is real. We're not crazy, and if we are, it's a safe place to admit that we're crazy.
They didn't come with instruction.
they-
but
No, they don't.
I wish I'd had something like this when my kids were
Sure,
little.
Yeah.
absolutely. I remember
Yeah.
calling my friends who were pediatric nurses and even bugging my family doctor at the time. You know, is this normal? Should I expect this? What should I do? And what a great resource now. I'm like Diane. I'm a little jealous that I don't have a new baby anymore to come down and hang out
You can
with.
borrow mine if
yeah,
you
I'll
want.
borrow yours, Stephanie. That's a great idea.
I just
Yeah.
wish
Yeah.
I'd had that resource.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
because I remember so many times trying to figure out, should I call the doctor or not? And sometimes you feel silly for taking your kids into the doctor for this or that, and so that group would be awesome for.
It's
for
a
that
good
kind of
group,
thing.
and we get questions. You know, a lot of the moms are into cloth diapering. We have several moms that are stay-at-home moms, so budget's a concern for them. So they do cloth diapers. They make their own baby food. Miranda did a really good class a few weeks ago where she showed everyone how to make food. She went out and bought all the
great.
food. Kind of, this is how I prepared it. This is how I did it. Used basic kitchen appliances and showed them how to freeze it, how to store it, and we all sampled it, and it was good. And it's food that we made ourselves. We don't have to worry about the canning process or the storage process.
Right.
And so it's a group like that. It's a group where you can go and ask questions. The lactation specialist is there as well. She comes on Tuesdays. So for those moms who need that extra help, they can come to the house on Tuesdays and meet with her name is Megan Wonderland. She's an OB nurse over in the
Yeah.
hospital. And she's really good, about just getting hold of your baby, and this is how you do it, and this is how you make it happen. So the Schliemann Center, we're all about women's education.
Awesome,
for sure.
awesome. And what a great group, too. So one more time on the Mommy and Me.
Yes, Mommy and Me support group, first and third Thursday of every month. You can call the Schliemann Center to get on that registry. We'll call to remind you about the upcoming support group at 508-2345.
All right. And Diane, anybody wants to get in touch with you about our Dr. David lecture? What's your
Sure,
phone number?
That's 508-3880.
And Miss Melissa, you've got a couple of great programs coming up. How do we get in touch with you?
508-2273.
And I'm at 508-1765, any diabetes needs. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. We'll see you next time, and thanks for joining us for Healthy Connections.